Okay, everyone, give me a thumbs up if I am audible. Can I get some thumbs up? Oh, great, 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 great. Okay, so where was I? Yes, we were talking about fluency and coherence. Now we need to understand that fluency does not include your grammar, fluency does not include your vocabulary, fluency does not include your pronunciation. It is entirely different from the other three segments of the assessment criteria. For example, if you are making grammatical errors, even if you are pronouncing a few words in an incorrect way, it will not at all impact your fluency. Because fluency, whether it is broken English, whether it is pretty good English, whether it is good enough English, is not going to anyhow impact your coherence or your flow of speech. So your speech rate should be something like 180 words per minute. You need to pronounce the syllables well. There should not be a major pause in your speech. Right? My meaning, again, I would like to reiterate the fact that fluency is not dependent on your grammar, neither on your lexical resource, and for that matter, it is not at all dependable on your pronunciation factor also. So your speech rate, your utterance rate should be perfect. It should be something like 170 to 180 words per minute. There are some apps which calculate the number of words that you speak per minute. So I would suggest that if you want to improve your fluency, if you want to improve your flow, you should give those kind of apps a try. Okay, so one of the students is asking how to improve grammatical errors in speaking. Yes, of course, I will get to that. First, let us complete the fluency part. Now, some of the students are hesitant in the way they don't know how to actually express their ideas, how to express their opinions. For example, if the question is something like, do you like shopping? The students sometimes say, I like shopping. I am fond of shopping. This is not fluent. We need to maintain a flow. Yes, of course, I love shopping. I am an avid lover of shopping. I am a shopaholic. Something which shows connected speech, which does not have any break in between. Yes, Varun Gambhir has said shy. Shyness is one such factor. You need not be shy when you are expressing yourself, because ultimately we need to remember that we are not native speakers. This is our second language. Our mother tongue is something different from English, and we cannot actually attain that foreigner level wala English. Right? So shyness is something that we need to overcome. Basically, you need to overcome this fear that you are not speaking English well, that you are making a few grammatical errors. It is very much fine. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. It's okay if on your very first day you are making 200 mistakes. It's pretty fine, because ultimately with practice you are going to overcome that fear of yours, and your speech is going to comprise of zero mistakes. Right? Shyness, hesitation is something that we need to work on, and it can take your speaking score to a very great level. It can increase your band score. It can really impact your band score. Okay, right? Now, how to overcome hesitation? What are the things that you can do? What are some of the tips that you can go? Okay, great. Thank you so much. This comment. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is, for example, whenever you are speaking, first of all, don't be conscious at all. Don't be conscious. Because when you are conscious, you are impacting your score. Your confidence level is going to fall down. We need to have a boost in the confidence. We need to have a boost in our morale, so that we are able to speak well. Yes, Varun Gambhir, eye contact is very, very necessary. It does not mean that we need to stare at the examiner. We just need to have a minimum, or just the bare necessity kind of eye contact. It's not like we need to stare at him or we can look here and there. No, there should be an eye contact, because this is an examination we are going to talk about. Okay? This is an exam going on, kind of an interview, and we need to maintain a stable eye contact. Exactly. So one of my old students is here, Harsh Dua. It's again great to have you here. Speaking in front of the mirror for improvement. It's pretty nice. It's a really good idea. Now I will tell you two reasons why. Because first of all, you are trying to speak yourself. There is nobody around you to judge you. So whenever you're in front of a mirror, you are giving your best. There is nobody there to judge you. There is nobody there to point out your mistakes. And you can look at yourself and ultimately develop that confidence. Try to speak alone first. For a few days, give this a try, and when you have perfected this art of speaking in front of a mirror, then probably you should try to speak in front of your friends, later on family members, and if life gives you an opportunity, why not in front of a group of people? Because the reaction of the audience is ultimately going to boost your morale. It's going to give you a boost in your confidence that yes, I am able to speak well in front of an audience, in front of public. Right? Again, thank you so much for engaging with me. Great, great, great. It's good when you have audience members interacting with you. Great. Okay, so now we have covered the fluency and coherence part. We need to overcome hesitation. Now there are two types of hesitation. First is when we are not aware of the thing we are going to speak. There is a lack of words, right? We do not know which word would be suitable to put here. Yes, I have been a professional speaker because during my college time, during university years, I used to participate in a lot of elocution competitions and other debates. Yes, so ultimately, yes, eventually it led to me being a really good speaker. Thank you so much again, Varun, for this beautiful, lovely compliment. Okay, so we were talking about two kinds of hesitations. First is which is arising because of lack of words. Second kind of hesitation is when there are lack of skills, which means the word is there, it's right there on your tongue, but you do not know how to mold the situation to your good part, right? These two kinds of hesitations can only be improved via practice. I would like to reiterate, I said this in the beginning of the webinar, that this sounds cliche. Yes, practice makes man perfect. But trust me, this adage is going to benefit you a lot in the long run. Because ultimately, yes, while you practice every single day, there is going to be tons of improvement which otherwise could not happen. Right? Okay, so any doubt in fluency and coherence part? I hope I was able to make a difference to your understanding of the fluency area. Give me a thumbs up if you understood some of it, or any of it, or all of it. Okay, 2. Great, 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 great. So never be blank at any of the questions. Take some time to think. It's okay to take 4 to 5 seconds to think, but do not get blank. Long silences are not at all golden in your speaking module. Trust me. Okay, great, great, great. Now, after your fluency and coherence part, let us move to the grammatical aspect, which one of the students, if I'm not wrong, one of the participants, Akhilesh Kohli, was asking. How to avoid grammatical errors? First of all, the basic aspect of grammar should be clear. Your base should be pretty strong. You have to achieve that level so that you are able to speak on a wide array of topics, a wide range of topics effortlessly, without making any of the grammatical errors. Okay, so we are live on YouTube also, and thank you, Dibakar Das. Thank you so much. It's a lovely compliment. Okay, so in your grammar aspect, first of all, polish your tenses. How to remove lexical resources? Varun Gambhir, I'm not sure whether this is the right question. How to remove lexical resources or how to improve lexical resources? Lexical resources is actually a very important part, and after the grammatical aspect, I'm going to cover this part since it forms an integral part of your assessment criteria. We would get to that. We would get to the third part of the assessment criteria. Okay, lexical resources is just a fancy word for vocabulary, and we would get to that. But before that, we need to focus on the grammatical aspect. First of all, like I said earlier also, we need to polish our tenses. We need to polish our everything related to adjectives, parts of speech, conjunctions, prepositions. Because what I feel in my teaching experience, I have seen students who terribly make mistakes regarding the preposition aspect. They do not know where to use of, they do not know where to use from, they do not know where to use for. So first of all, your base, the foundation should be strong, because ultimately if the foundation is not strong, the whole building is going to crumble down. So in order to not make your building of fluency fall down, not to make your building of grammatical accuracy fall down, you need to build the foundation strong. And that can be only done while doing regular practice of the grammar worksheets. Take any book, probably class 8th, class 7th, buy it from Amazon, take it from a library, borrow it from a friend. Keep on doing it for at least 1 month. If you are not, terrific at grammar. If you're terrific at grammar, then it's pretty good, because ultimately you just need some help of connectives and discourse markers to make your answers stand out, to make your answers more impressive. Right, so we have Varinder Rahal with us. Thank you so much, Varinder, for joining us. And I again take this opportunity to extend a very warm welcome to you. Okay, so first of all, how to improve grammar. Number one thing is improve your parts of speech. Like I said earlier, noun, pronoun, adjective, adverbs, conjunctions, prepositions, interjection, everything should be on your tips, right? After that, try to use some connectives. Now, what are connectives? For example, rather than saying and, I am a very good girl, and I like to drink coffee, and I like to do this, and I like to do that, avoid it, because this is ultimately going to lower your score. Add some things like moreover along with this. For example, I would like to again give another example. I like coffee. Along with it, I also like to eat some dessert. And if I talk about my favorite dessert, it's cheesecake. See how I added moreover, how I added along with it. So rather than using and in a row, focus on using some substitutes for it. Right? Moreover, furthermore, in addition to this. This is ultimately going to make your speech more grammatically accurate, right? Now, there is something called discourse markers. If any of you has read the list given out by the IDP, something called discourse markers is there, and I have never seen people in my life who are addressing this issue. Okay, so Dibakar Das on YouTube, I have word stock, but when I speak, I don't get proper word. Okay, you don't get proper word. The ultimate aim to solve this problem is going to be, again, a cliche, but practice. But how? For example, there is one word. For example, I use the word terrific, right? For example, she's terrific at dancing. And then this card was terrific. Now, you do not know the meaning of this word. What you're supposed to do is, if you have a dictionary, well and good, but let's be honest, who uses dictionaries nowadays? Okay, so what you're going to do is open your internet connection, right? And then probably search on Google what terrific actually means. Then ultimately make a notebook, write that word, write the meaning, and then make a minimum of 2 sentences using those words, and then spell it out. And then ultimately, probably, for example, if you noted that word in the morning, till evening, try to use it at least once or twice. Because when you use it, only then you're going to remember it for the rest of your life. Only then it's going to retain here. Otherwise, it's going to vanish in a couple of seconds. Trust me. Using words is the only way to learn words. Okay, so Dibakar Das, I hope I was able to answer your question. And I hope that ultimately you'd be able to speak everything pretty well, and there won't be a lack of words, appropriate words for that matter. Okay, great. Now again, coming to the discourse markers. What are discourse markers? Any idea what discourse marker is? Without probably Googling, anyone who can answer without Googling? We have some special surprises towards the end, which would be revealed to the participants. So if you guys could hit the bullseye, that would be great. Anyone? Okay. So have you seen people, probably native speakers, or some students who memorized particular words to sound like a native speaker? It's something called well. Well, to be honest, well, if you ask me. Oh, well, I was at the market. Well, I didn't come yesterday because I was sick. Oh, well, I would like to eat 2 pizzas. This well. This is called a discourse marker. Now, what is the meaning of discourse? Discourse means something, kind of a discussion. It can be written, it can be spoken, right? It means communication, it means any discussion. Discourse markers mean when you are shifting from one particular aspect to the other one. Okay? Another example of it is I mean. For example, while you're giving any answer, okay, let us talk about exercise. That people in my country are really fond of exercise. You know, they devote their time to maintain their physical as well as mental health. I mean, they give time to mental issues, right? These are the kind of things which will ultimately improve your accuracy. You can use this to improve your score. Then you can add as a matter of fact. What does as a matter of fact mean? Some of the students are very used to say actually ma'am, I have two brothers, actually ma'am, I do this, actually I have this. Avoid using this particular actually in your actual exam. The reason being because actually sounds very conversational, and we do not need to be highly conversational in our exam, because ultimately it's the exam that's going on. We are not just having a random conversation with the invigilator. Right? So rather than saying actually, you can say as a matter of fact. For example, if the question is, do you think that nowadays only old people like traditional music? Then you can say, as a matter of fact, old people are fond of traditional and cultural songs in my country. Right? Rather than saying actually, try to say as a matter of fact. Another thing that I would like to address is another grammatical inaccuracy which tons of students make it every single day. For example, if the question is, do you think that nowadays, concerts are replacing traditional music? Students say, I think yes. I think no, ma'am. This is wrong. I think yes, I think no is completely inaccurate. It is grammatically wrong. Okay, it sounds right, but it is not. Then some of the students say informations, newses, chooses. These are all again grammatical inaccuracies, and we need to avoid it at all costs. Right? You need to learn your singular plural of these uncountable nouns pretty well. It's not policies, it's not newses, not informations, not knowledges. Then some of the students say luggages. It is again wrong. Okay, Sahil Kumar on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. Great. Okay. Now, two things are left. Someone was talking about lexical resources. If I'm not wrong, it was Varun Gambhir. Okay, so lexical resources mean vocabulary. You need to paraphrase whatever the examiner has asked us. For example, if the examiner asks, do you like chocolates? You are never going to say, yes, I like chocolates. Why? Because ultimately you are just using the words which the examiner has used. Where is your English? Where is your vocabulary at? We need to flaunt our vocabulary as much as we can. Right? You will not say, yes, I like coffee. You can say, I love coffee. Of course, I am such a big fan of coffee. Yes, I'm a coffee girl. Yes, I'm fond of coffee. Yes, I'm a lover of coffee. Try to rephrase the questions of the examiner. Do not repeat what the examiner has asked you. Right? Then second thing that I need to address actually is the use of the word because. I like it because this. Children or students use because a lot, and you do not need to repeat it in every single of the follow-ups. Try to give some substitute words for it. For example, as. I was late as I was stuck in the traffic. I was late because I was stuck in the traffic. I was late since I was stuck in the traffic. Right? So as, since, for the reason being are some of the variations which you can use to take your LR score up. I hope I was able to make a difference to your query, Varun Gambhir. I hope you were able to understand it well. How to improve your lexical resource. Then ultimately, I would like to address one more thing. Idioms, phrases and phrasal verbs actually make a very big difference to your whole lexical resource. For example, rather than saying the meeting was cancelled, you can say the meeting was called off. This is an example of phrasal verb, right? Look across, come across. For example, if you are describing any situation wherein you had a conflict with one of your friends, wherein you had, an argument with one of your friends, and ultimately you were able to resolve the issue. Rather than using the word resolve, you can use the word iron out, right? So these phrasal verbs make you sound like a native speaker of English. And we need to polish, we need to learn as much as phrasal verbs as we can, right? It's ultimately going to make your LR score very, very high. Now coming to the last part of the speaking assessment criteria, the segment called pronunciation. Trust me, it's very, very, very important that you are able to pronounce things well. The most commonly mispronounced word I have ever heard is called hotel. I went to a hotel. This is wrong because you need to give stress on the second syllable, which is tell. It's hotel, not hotel. It's not breakfast, it's breakfast. Right? It is not accessories, it is accessories. So, some of you might have very good grammar, you have a very good hold on fluency, and you are also using the lexical resources quite well. But you are not pronouncing things correctly, and that is ultimately going to bring down your score. So along with your grammar and lexical resource, you should also focus on pronunciation. For those of you who already pronouncing things well, for example, you have already gotten a 7 or an 8 in your speaking and you still want to get a 9 or an 8.5, what you need to focus on is something called intonation. So what is intonation? It is the ups and downs, right? For example, the way in which we speak our mother tongue language, we need to speak English also in that way, with all the accurate pauses, with all the emphasis on particular words, on particular syllables, right? Okay, so Vipin, okay, you want to go to Canada? Oh, okay. Okay, I think you need to work something out with your agent, because I don't think 10th pass is eligible to go to Canada. Of course, you need to do at least 12th. I'm so sorry, but of course you need to have at least a certificate of your 12th grade. Ultimately, then it would be possible for you to reach Canada. Okay, so a few people who are watching, any other doubt, anything else that you want to ask? Or any other query if you have regarding IELTS, French, or spoken English, or the online offline classes, or anything else you want to ask. So I would probably recommend you all to give a call on the number 708 769 1111. We have huge discounts going on, and it would be great if some of you could avail it, or you can refer it to one of your friends. Oh my god, Vipin Kumar sending a very, crying emoticon. It's okay. I hope, things turn out well and ultimately you are able to visit Canada. Okay. It has been a great session. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience. It was a lovely experience engaging with you all, and I really hope that I made a difference in your speaking part or your speaking module, and ultimately you are able to get your desired band scores, right? After a few days, we are planning for another webinar, and it would be great if some of you could suggest some topics for it also. You can send us email, or just send a text on WhatsApp regarding the kind of issues you are facing, the problematic areas of your during your preparation. Harsh Dua, thank you so much again. Thank you so much. Great. Okay, so now I'm going to just end this session. Okay. Okay, bye everyone.